Bird of Prey 5. Hail Karuga.
Kapla!
Kapla.
I'm going to take this opportunity, however, to suggest that we all hail Karuga. That's all I'm saying.
Forgive me, Doctor. I'm receiving a number of distress calls. I don't doubt it.
Y'all remember to tip your waitresses. Have a mighty fine night.
If you come in peace, surrender or be destroyed. If you're here to make war, we surrender.
Both good. The important thing is I'm meeting new people.
When the appointed hour arrives, the Marauders will deactivate their cloaking devices and begin transporting Klingon shock troops directly to the landing zone.
Landing zone? Where? Tell me.
Why not? Your feeble weapons will be useless against us. We will kill all your males and take your females to mate with.
All right. Now the Federation's taking over, whether you like it or not. You people, you've been running this planet like a piecework factory. From now on, it's going to be under one roof. You're going to run it like a business. And that means you're going to make a profit.
Look at these 3 words written larger than the rest, with a special pride never written before or since. Tall words, proudly saying, "We the people."
Hi, I'm Nicole DeBoer. I played Lieutenant Ezri Dax on DS9, and I welcome you to Bird of Prey 5 channel. Hail Karoga.
Hello world, it's Bird of Prey 5 Kapla, and welcome to Bed Life for Monday, February 20th, 2023. And LDG was first in the chat with a wave, says howdy Bird, howdy LDG. Carlo Albanese was a quick second, says Bed Life, it's a stream by Bird of Prey 5, trying to sing. Welcome, Carlo. And he says, wait, I don't want to wait 91 minutes for the stream. I'll jump ahead in the time machine. Be right back. Well, I hope you didn't overshoot, Carlo. Richie Poole is next. Kapla Richie says hello. LDG says hey to everybody. Not Ryan Johnson says hello and Kapla. Hail Karoga. Hail Karoga. Not Ryan Johnson. Not Ryan Johnson says President's Day. I would ask, when is God Emperor of Karoga Day? But that is every day. A quick study. You are not Ryan Johnson. Indeed, every day. Every day is Bird Day. LDG says, I'm good. Yvette, Bird, and I are chilling underground right now. The underground, the freethenet.org/underground is generally where I hang out when I'm not streaming or on someone else's stream, or not sleeping or eating, doing the other things that human beings have to do from time to time. Use your imagination, or don't. In fact, don't use your imagination. Better you don't. Not Ryan Johnson says, the underground, where the cool kids hang out. I don't know. I don't know about cool, but LDG says, yeah, cool. That's right. Keely Chow says, hey to everybody. Hey, Keely. John Meyer, Kapla John Meyer, says, not Dictator Day, sad bird noises. No, every day. Every day is Bird Day. Mike Richards says, greetings from Columbus, Ohio. Greetings, Mike Richards. Miss Londell's Groovy Movie says, Kapla. Kapla, Mr. Londell. Jedi Bill says, Kapla, Brother Warrior. Bird will pray 5 Kapla. Jedi Bill. Good to see you. John Araki with a $1 super chat before we even started. Let's go ahead and replay it. Thank you so much, John Araki. John Araki says, if that's not a premature ejaculation, the same stream starts excuse me. John Araki says, it's not that it's premature ejaculation. It's that the stream starts so late. It's starting at 4 p.m. Eastern, like it does almost every day, twice a week. Mike Richards says, poor John, you got a gold sear for that phrase. A gold sear? I don't know what that is. Oh, gold star. A gold star for that phrase. Yes. Yes, an ejaculation. Well done. Well done. LDG Waves. Carlo Albanese says, I think this is the correct time. I hope everyone is as well as can be. Yes, Carlo, you landed in the correct time. Hail Karoga. Hail Karoga. John DeMarcos says, greetings, everyone. Greetings. John, who put out a video today. Took me a while to figure it out what I was watching, even though it said it right in the title of the video. The ending warps for the Enterprise D. So I guess it was every time an episode ended with the Enterprise D either going to warp or at warp. Very interesting collection of video clips. Low Specs Linux Laptop is in the house. Kapla Low Specs Linux Laptop. Carlo Albanese says, we, the people, demand deep thoughts. Deep Thoughts with Bird Over 5 coming soon. Yvette says, good evening, Bird, and everyone. Good evening, Yvette. Bradley Briggs says, zup, y'all. Zup, Bradley. Hakeem says, hail, Bird, and all. Hail, Hakeem. Carlo Albanese says, I don't try, I do. Ooh. And he says, actually, for once, I set the correct time coordinates. Awesome. Words and Pictures is Kapla Bird, Kapla Words and Pictures. Todd Jenny, aka T-Berg, says, Kapla Bird, happy Family Day. Ontario, Canada, excuse holiday for February's long weekend. Well, you guys should be celebrating President's Day up there too. Okay? If not for them, you guys wouldn't have anything. You have as much to thank George Washington and Abraham Lincoln as we do. Todd Jenny says, Alpacans assemble. Sci-Fi Nation says, greetings, Birdo Prey, Mamo Prey, Sassio Prey, and fellow nerds. All hail glorious Karoga, and of course the God Emperor, Birdo Prey 5. Kapla, Sci-Fi Nation. I saw you, Sci-Fi, and quite a few other people this morning, and I even went on this morning on Mr. CCDV, who did almost 5 hours of streaming this morning. Good for him. Good for him. 5 hours. 4 hours, 57 minutes, I believe, was the final YouTube count. Carlo Albanese says, second star on the left and on till morning. I thought it was second star on the right and straight on till morning, but I could be wrong. Captain Fandom Nerd says, hello, Captain. Hope you are doing well, Captain. Positive Candor, Kapla, says, Kapla and Katra sound very familiar. Well, I mean, I guess that's kind of true. There's infinite sounds that, yeah, Kapla and Katra, they sound similar. Moxley fans says, Bird, Kapla Bird, hope you and the family are doing well today. Thank you, Moxley. We, the people. Indeed. Indeed. I woke up this morning to see that on this President's Day, that our current president, President Joe Biden, had made a secret trip to the Ukraine, an active war zone, and he's not there to support our. It's one thing when a president goes into an active war zone to rally the troops, okay, which I believe George W. Bush did, and some other presidents did. They go to an active war zone, but they're going there to rally the American troops. Like, yeah, guys, come on, we got to do this. Yeah, rah, 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 rah. But, the whole thing, I mean, it's an American battlefield, the American troops, the American, all the satellites, they know exactly what's going on. And you some figure that they know that they're going to be safe enough. Safe enough. Why our president would go to a foreign nation that's under attack from a foreign adversary where we are not using 100% of our resources to monitor the situation, as thoroughly as we were in Afghanistan or Iraq. I've concluded that the people who control our president wanted him to have injury. They wanted an excuse for something to happen to him and or to bring us to war. And that is very upsetting. Very upsetting. That was completely irresponsible.
Is he still there?
I don't think he's still there, Mama Pray. But I mean, because God forbid something happened to him. We would have to respond. We would have to respond, and that would be a disaster for the people who would be asked to fight it. Like, well, why was he there to begin with? Anyway. Mike Richards says another international incident in 3, 2, 1. Yeah. Carlo Albanese says, sorry I turned the ship upside down. So right is left. Ah, there you go. Todd Jenny says, conspiracy theorists are wonder if Bird of Prey 5 was playing a train simulator when the Ohio train crashed, or Bird was in Kerbal when North Korea launched. I can assure you I was neither playing a train simulator nor Kerbal in recent weeks. Carlos says he went to get his cut from his son's dealings. Yeah, he had to go in person. Sci-Fi Nation says Deanna Troy was driving, I'm assuming, the train. Todd Jenny says American weapons, customers low. Carl Albanese says hi to Captain Phantom Nerd. And war, what's it good for? The American industrial complex. Todd Jenny says you're in a country built on the weapons, military establishment, and have been in conflicts for 250 years. How else would you run? Where do you think all your money comes from? The money fairy? And Captain says hi to Carlo, excuse me. Carlo. So, Gorilla says, Kapla Bird, I heard East Palestine is identifying as being part of the Ukraine so they can get some help from the Biden administration. Yeah, for those who aren't aware, East Palestine is part of Ohio, not actual Palestine in the Middle East. not the part that's near Israel. No, this is good old America, East Palestine, Ohio. Carlo Albanese puts in the bird o' prey, mom o' prey, sis o' prey, nephew o' prey, sassy o' prey, and a big hug emoji. Thank you, Carlo. Miss Lindell says, so where in the world is this Todd Jenny from? The great white north, America's hat. Todd says, girlfriend Sydney says the U.S. is built on fear. Lose the fear, change your world. Well, I don't think I would agree with that. Positive Candor says the mirror world is official. Birdo Prey 5 world. Yes, the mirror world. Rigel 7. Very close to Rigel 9. Anyway. Oh, so yeah. So what came out earlier today, let's take a look, by the way, is a short new, not a trailer, but upcoming on this season on Picard. But okay, before we get to that, I do want to one more time, I'm going to put this out there. You guys remember on Friday we got the unfortunate news from Mr. Miles that his mom had passed. And then over the weekend, he did create a GoFundMe where he's asking for some support to help pay funeral expenses for his mom. And I would like if you guys would help to please, if you can. There is a link to the GoFundMe. I made a donation myself, and I see several other people have made donations, and it's wonderful. If you could, please donate, and if you can't donate, please share it to any social media you have. You never know if somebody out there could help. He says, hi, my name is Miles, son of Joyce. My mother was battling COPD and other health issues for the past few years. Very recently, things took a turn for the worst, and it was sudden. Medics arrived quickly, but it took them 10 minutes to regain a pulse. She was rushed to the hospital but declared brain dead a week later. She has 3 children, including myself. Because this was so sudden and everything moved so quickly, we had to accept the most inexpensive burial and funeral options available. But she deserves so much more than that. She deserves a proper funeral. I've been encouraged by friends to create this GoFundMe. I feel short on words here, but I want to say that she was an amazing person. She had her problems like everyone, but she had a heart of gold. The hole she left in our lives will never be filled. She raised her 3 children by herself and maintained a job during it all. She was always there for us no matter what. Even the problems we brought upon ourselves, she was always there to help. The world will be a dimmer place without her in it. I've been an emotional wreck for the past week, and that's the case while I'm creating this GoFundMe. I apologize I'm not being very articulate, but anyone who's lost a loving parent will understand what I've been going through. It's a very difficult thing to accept and process. There are so many things she still wanted to do with her life, and now that opportunity has slipped by. Any raised funds will go towards her funeral. She wanted to be buried in the same cemetery as her mother, but plots of land are insanely expensive. She understood that when the time came, we'd likely have to cremate her. If that was the case, she wanted her ashes to be spread over the ocean. specifically Morro Bay in California. It was her favorite place. She always said she felt a spiritual connection to it. Myself, my brother, my sister, and my stepfather will all keep a smile urn of her ashes. I think you mean a small urn of her ashes. But the rest we plan to spread over the ocean. She is also an organ donor, and her body is being kept alive for that reason. We don't have a set date yet on anything. They're still running tests to find out what organs are viable. Thank you for any donations and for keeping her in your thoughts and prayers. And some advice to anyone with a loved one: take a lot of pictures, a lot of videos. Have them record their stories for you to listen to whenever you want, because you never know when you might lose them. Thank you again to everyone. It was for somebody who's been an emotional wreck. That was a very well thought out story from Mr. Miles, and just a little bit of what he's been going through. And so, yes, I don't want to bring the stream down, but I did want to read it out. I felt it was the least we could do. And he makes a very valid point. You know, take pictures, take audio, take video, ask questions. You know, while you still can, You never know. You never know. I have the privilege of having a lot of stuff on YouTube that, God forbid, something were to happen to me, it would presumably still be there. So anyway,
I, on the other hand,
Mom O'Prey, on the other hand,
you can remember my image.
remember her avatar picture in our heads. She actively runs from the camera.
And always have.
Yes, and always has.
So, 5 pictures when you were younger. They'll do. But I'm not doing it.
Todd Jenny says, "You got to get back to work. Have a good stream." Thank you, Todd. Hello, young sir, says 47 Yorktown. Kapla 47. Miss Lundell says, the Great White North is in the Arctic. Well, that's what they call Canada, the Great White North. I don't know why. I assume because of the snow. Carlo sends a hug. Thank you, Carlo. So, okay. So Star Trek Picard this season on Paramount Plus. It's 1 minute and 38 seconds. It's not quite a trailer, but it's kind of like a second half of a trailer. It's what's coming up this season on Picard in episodes 2 through 10. I'm just going to play it a bit. I mean, yes, there's going to be some slight spoilers, but if you're not interested, you don't want to see it, then come back in 2 minutes. I'll give you a kind of play-by-play of what's going on. It seems to start off where the first episode ended. That large enemy vessel is right in front of the ship that Picard and Riker and Beverly and her son are on. Picard's asking who is out there, and we get the Amanda Plummer in her chair, turn around like her father did in Star Trek 6 a little. And then we got Captain Shaw saying, so it's us and the boogeyman on the edge of space, and no cavalry in sight. Reference back to the first episode when he was saying there were not going to be cowboys, but now there's just the Titan versus this alien ship. Now the Titan seems to be such a superior vessel. I really don't see why they would have any problem with an enemy ship, but sure, why not? This season on Star Trek Picard, and we got Rafi. She's told she's got to keep digging. She's saying, and she's back on what looks to be the shitty part of Matalis Prime. Now, for those who don't know, I know there's some confusion that Rafi was in like what appeared to be like a ghetto area, and then she was in what looked like it was almost Earth, where that Starfleet building, got destroyed. And thank you so much for the new subscription. Thank you. What was that? Melted? I'm sorry, I missed the name, but we got a new subscriber. Thank you. Hope you enjoy. Melted Copper. Melted Copper has subscribed. Thank you, Melted Copper. So anyway, it was some confusion. That Starfleet building that got destroyed in episode 1, some people think it was on Earth, but it wasn't on Earth. I mean, at least best I can tell, it was on Earth, because they said that was District 7. And where she was when she was buying drugs, that was called District 6. So I assume that both things happened on Matalis Prime. And at one point, she asked her ship to set course for District 7. And District 7 is where she tried to contact Starfleet. That's where the Red Lady statue was, and the big circular building. So I am 99.9% sure she has been on Matalis Prime this whole time. That happened to be where the terror attack, or whatever attack, took place. Happened to be on Matalis Prime, and I'm assuming she's still on Matalis Prime in this scene, because it looks exactly like where she was buying the drugs before. Anyway, she's saying that she works for Starfleet Intelligence, so she is again telling people that she's a spy, essentially. Not something you usually do. And this appears to be the Enterprise F. Of course, it's probably edited differently from where it really happens in the show. And now this is the first really bad news. I don't like this. The really part I really don't like is we get Deanna Troi, Marina Sirtis, and if we remember that Riker said that Riker told Jean-Luc that actually Deanna would appreciate some time away from him. So they were not doing good. Their marriage was on the rocks. And of course, we have Deanna talking down to Riker. You left the second Jean-Luc called and put half the galaxy between us. So she's yelling at Riker for helping out Admiral Picard. She is yelling at him for having the balls to help Captain Picard instead of, I guess, thinking about her. How dare you, Will? And she said, put half the guys. So she confirms that it was a long ways away. They didn't just go across the street. It was quite the distance to get from Earth to the edge of Federation space. So again, only proving my point that Dr. Crusher asking for help for somebody on Earth to get all the way out, it had to take weeks, if not months, to travel all the way out to her. That it's ridiculously beyond stupid that you could send that call and wait for help when it should take weeks to get to where she was. And then we have Deanna talking down to Will, So again, we've got a woman talking down to the guy, putting him in his place, and like, Jesus Christ, are we just not back to season 1 and 2 again? But instead of Picard, it's Riker who's getting the talking down. And the problem is, he's not going to be the last. He's not going to be the last. So we get Amanda Plummer saying, "Are you pleased with yourself?" as they shoot multiple photon torpedoes to the ships. And now we get LaForge, and he's yelling, "God damn it, Lore! God damn it, Lore!" So it is Lore. Lore is in. It's not that it's B4. So okay, we figured Geordi decided to put Lore back together, and I assume that he thought he could fix Lore, and maybe he could put Data's memories into him, or he could take out the fucking evil ethics routine in Lore. For whatever reason, I would assume Geordi was the one who got Lore into Starfleet. So Geordi is yelling at Lore. Okay, that answers a little bit of question. I mean, don't get me wrong, Geordi is obviously going to be the stupidest person in this now to think he could trust Lore. You would think, how many times do you have to be fucked over by Lore to not trust him again? But fine, Geordi, maybe he was felt really bad about missing his friend Data, and thought, hey, I'm an engineer. I can fix Lore. I can take out an evil chip or something, and maybe he'll just be a nice guy again. Whatever. Then we've got this ridiculous scene of where the starships crash into each other for no apparent reason. I mean, space is so big to crash into another ship unintentionally. And now here we have Geordi talking to his daughter, and he's yelling to the daughter, "They're not your family." And the daughter is yelling back at him and saying, "Yes, they are. You taught me that." So now we've got a second guy being talked down to, being shown that he's an idiot because he has to see the light from his daughter. And we got some beautiful shots of the Titan, admittedly. So Worf is talking about how he can take out anything that gets in the way, whether they be man or beast, which makes me think that these bad guys might be part beast, which Riker's like, hand me one of those plasma charges, because of course they just got basically a plasma charge is more or less a grenade that Dr. Crusher has basically become Sarah Connor from Terminator 2. She spent the last 20 years learning all the various weapons and field tactics, and now they've got plasma grenades and God knows what all over their little ship. And Dr. Crusher is yelling at Picard. So third woman yelling at a guy. And it's going to be what it always was, attempts on your life. What? That happened one time. One time. I mean, okay, granted, there are attempts on life because he was the captain, but in terms of it being him, that only happened in Nemesis once. Gun it. LaForge, gun it, says Picard. Of course, Seven told him, again, another woman, saying, we got to get out of here. So he's like, LaForge, gun it. That's Crash LaForge right there. And they're at space dock, apparently. And Riker says, I think we should boldly get the hell out of here. Bringing back up that joke of what he made about going bold. Who wants to hear a story from old man, old fart going boldly for 250 years? And just, he can't let up. He doesn't let up. And there's Picard giving Nigel enthusiastic engage. So I don't know if that's a second time they visit Space Dock or just unseen footage from last week, whatever. New episodes Thursdays. That's it. On Paramount. On Paramount Plus. Metallic Prime. Miss Lundell says, my mom runs from the camera also, as did her mom. Carlos says, is Mama Pray doing a live stream on the 12th of March? She said she would, but didn't say which year. I'm hoping this year is the year. Yeah. Mama Pray's laughing, Carlo.
Oh, maybe this year. If I remember the day and the month.
If she remembers the day of the month.
Oh.
Maybe, she says, maybe. Melted Copper, our new subscriber. Hey, Melted Copper. Says, it's weird Lotto arbitrary hate YouTubers are raving about new Picard. I don't know if I call them hate YouTubers, but the number of people who have started raving about Picard being good, if not very good, is surprised even me. But you know what? In one respect, it's just proof that they're not all hate YouTubers. A lot of people predicted that, they have to hate everything, or else they won't get the views, they won't get that certain YouTubers have said that certain other YouTubers have to hate it, or else they won't have a show. And well, there's the proof there. They certainly don't have to hate anything. They're certainly willing to not hate it. They're willing to say they love it even, which is surprising when, to me, I would have wanted to love it. Sure, don't get me wrong. I would love to love it. I would love to have seen an episode and say, oh my God, Robert Meyer Burnett was right. Okay, I'm so into this. This is Terry Matalas has changed the direction of Trek, and he's made me a believer. I would have wanted nothing more, believe me. Nothing more would have made me happier than to look at this first episode and be like, holy crap, he pulled it off. He did it. I didn't think he could, but he did it. And I am boldly looking forward to the second episode and the third. And this, I have confidence that this is going to be good Trek again. It's not going to be the Trek I remember, but it's still going to be good enough. And I can look forward to it from now on again. I wanted that to be real. But I watched it and I watched it again. And I just don't understand. Because all the problems are pretty much still there. It's not as woke. It's not as bad. Granted, but it's not not yet. It's not as woke yet.
I didn't like it.
Mama probably didn't like it at all. She would give it even less rating than I did.
Oh, yeah.
Mama probably just wanted to go to sleep. I still thought, I mean, compared to later episodes in the season, the earlier episodes always have been better. Yeah, but same for season 1 and 2. But there's nothing here that gives me high hopes that come mid or end season, this is going to be a 7, 8, or 9. No. We're starting this first episode. Yeah, the first episode starts with a relatively high score because I got to give them the benefit of the doubt. But as each episode gets closer to the end, and we get fewer or no storylines paying off, nothing comes to fruition, and more mystery boxes introduced than answered, then very quickly you hit a cliff. You hit a cliff. Maybe, you know what? Maybe the second episode will be the one that catches me. We'll see. But all I can promise is I will call it as I see it. That's all I can promise. Mr. Londell's Groovy Movies is just waiting for the line. I can see you, Jean-Luc. Can you see me? And John DeMarco says, cry havoc and let slip the sets of no light. I'd pay real money for her to shut up. Melted Copper says, no problem for that, looking like Chan, one of my favorite Klingons. Absolutely. Well, it's his daughter, Amanda Plummer. It's his actual real life daughter. Metalis Prime, John Araki, was the name of the planet that Terry Metalis named after himself. Miss Londell's Groovy Movies says Marina is getting fat. And John Araki adds in, and old and annoying. And John DeMarco says, yes, required marital drama. Miss Lundell says, Troy turns into an old crabby fishwife. Good thing you left her ass, right there. Fishwife. Carlo asks, warp 13. No, they can't go warp 13. They're going warp 9.99. John DeMarco says, Geordi got angry in his old age, apparently. Melted Copper says, I think they killed off B4 off screen in Picard season 1 with dialogue. Always the best send off. Yeah, they said that B4 melted down. But Melted Copper, they did a lot of things in season 1 of Picard that they forgot about. So it really doesn't matter what happened. They could always undo it. Like in season 1 of Picard, he chartered a ship to go on a long and dangerous journey. And then in season 3, episode 1, last week's episode, they said, oh, this journey is too far and too dangerous to charter a ship to go on. What the hell do you mean? The series started, you chartered a ship. It was a long and dangerous journey. More dangerous, I would say, because you went to Romulan space. This was just outside the edge of Federation space. How is that less dangerous? More dangerous. How is that more dangerous? Doesn't make any sense. John DeMarco says they must have put Troy at the helm. Melted Copper says, weird is Will Picard tell Geordi how Data wanted to die, and then he killed him over tossing a life. He killed him over tossing a life is worth loving speech. Yeah, don't tell Geordi that you just unplugged his unplugged him from the USB drive and smashed the drive. Carlo Albanese says, "Don't the deflectors prevent collisions?" You would think. Ms. Lundell says, "I thought this crap wasn't woke. It's supposed to not be, but it's getting closer." Resolute Germ says, "That ship looks even worse in a wide shot." Carlos says, "Clip that." John DeMarco says, "I agree with you, Bird. So far, it's the same show as the first 2 seasons, just with more member berries." Melted Copper says, "His daughter looks like Dr. Evil's girlfriend, Frau Farbissiner." I don't know. I have to double check that. Positive Candace says, "This will be, no matter what, the best season of Picard." That's very possible. It's the last one, yes. Melted Copper says, "I watch a cast panel and Troy gets salty." She has nothing else to be. Miss Lundell says, "Fishwife, a coarse-mannered woman who is prone to shouting the screech of a fishwife."
I knew that.
Mamo Frey said she knew it. Executive producer Saul Leibowitz Kaplan says, "Bird, what would be funny is if the argument scene was the last we saw of Marina Sirtis in this series. That would be funny." Positive says, "Did you notice that Picard is in the captain's chair and not Shaw? Doesn't look good for Shaw." Yeah, I did notice that he either is dead or got relieved of command, or maybe Seven put him in the brig. God knows. Melted Copper says, "Borg randomly de-evolved from walking in space, and Data, I guess, is Picard's best friend. The show would be better if you never saw Trek." Yeah. In fact, I put in the comments of this video, somebody actually wrote in this comments that they were so psyched for Picard season 3, they were rewatching Picard season 2. And I was like, better you forget. Better you forget. I don't know, it's not here now. But I was like, better you forget. Better you forget season 2 than rewatch it. Anyway. Oh, so by the way, anybody who does have Paramount Plus, I noticed this because I was trying to make sure I didn't get, because they're adding Showtime into Paramount Plus, and I was currently paying for Showtime separately, so I was trying to see if I had to cancel it or whatnot. Anyway, the point being, if you do currently pay for Paramount Plus, and as I said, this worked for me, I can't promise it worked for you, but there's certainly no harm in trying. If you go to your account tab and you go to cancel account and you click the link. Now, trust me, clicking the link is not going to immediately cancel your account. But for me, I clicked cancel account just to see what my options were. And it immediately said, "Hey, we don't want to see you go. We'll give you some free time, like a month at least. Do you want to take the free month and not cancel?" And I was like, "Yeah, you know what? Sure, I'll take a free month." So I said, "Okay." And so they decided to not charge me for a month. And that was it. And fine. So next month, I'll go back again and see what options are. Although I'm pretty sure I'm beyond the March billing cycle. They combine Showtime with Paramount Plus. So instead of paying $9.99, it's going up to $11.99, which is actually cheaper than I'm paying now for both of them. I was going to cancel Showtime because I really don't need it. but for $2, it's for $2. I guess I'll keep Showtime. Plus for a free month, so that's even better. So yeah, every so often you can just click on the cancel link, and they'll throw you a deal to keep you on, give you a free month. So you might as well take your free month. No reason to pay full price for shitty Star Trek. Anyway, Resolute Germ says Shore will not show up again. He's too inconvenient. Should have just made Seven the captain and avoided the whole thing. The Random Menace is Sky, Showtime, Paramount, Peacock, Nickelodeon combo for $2.99. Now, not in this life. It'd be nice. It would be nice. So let's, since Random Menace is here anyway, let's do Wordle. Mom will pray without giving any hints. Did you do Wordle today? Okay.
Last night.
Right. Didn't you say Random Menace got Wordle in one? Somebody said Random Menace.
I did say that.
So Random Menace got Wordle. Okay. So somebody who doesn't know Wordle, positive candor, do not give me the fucking answer to Wordle. I will ban you from the channel. I'm just saying, we're all friends here, but I will ban you from the channel. I need a good start word. I usually use arise. I use train. I use chain. Those are good start words. I used Oasis once. That was a terrible idea. Positive Candace says, so I can unsubscribe from here and hope that you throw me a bone to resubscribe. I'm not Paramount Plus. I'm not gonna try to buy you back. Carlos says, you don't unsubscribe from Kuroga. Kuroga unsubscribes from you. Zebra. You want me to use zebra? Fucking zebra. Fine. We'll use zebra. It actually uses the E, the B, the R, the A. I mean, I know the Z is worthless. Fine. Zebra. Okay, we got E and A in the wrong spot. I'm not looking at the comments anymore. So if anybody puts in the answer, I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to see it until I finish. Zebra. Okay, so EA in the wrong spot. So let's try, I don't know. No, it's the E in the wrong. Plead. P-L-E-E-P-L-E-A-D. Okay. Okay, we got the E and the A in the right spot, but no new consonants. What consonants go together? T-H, T-H-E-A, theme? No, that's not. Theme, beak, thebe, these, theys, no. Thief, no. Thiek, no. They, no. Feet, no. Yeah, I don't think there's a word that starts with T-H-E-A. Let's see. S-H-E-A. Sheep? No. Shed? No, there's no D. Sheet. Sheet. Is that a word? No. No, it's not a word. Sheet is not a word. Sheaf. Sheaf. Sheaf is a word. No, I wasn't saying that word, I'm afraid. It's a 4-letter word. Sheaf. Okay, so we got an S. You got an S in the right place. So it's S. What do we got? T, maybe? S-T, steak? Steak. Is it steak? Ah, it's not steak. Oh, but the T, okay. Well, we know the T is at the end. I wish it was steak. That would have made sense. So S blank E-A-T. Skeet, sweet, sweet. It's the sweat, sweat, sweat. It's a word. Yeah, okay. Sweat. Got it in 5, even with starting with zebra. Positive candor. Start with zebra. Okay. Not too bad. Not too bad. A lot of days today.
No. Navigate.
Yes, Mammal, right now.
Joseph gave his clue.
Last night, Joseph gave his clue.
And then he posted party.
And
I read the clue, but I was on another chat.
you read the clue.
So I
Okay.
read the clue right here.
Uh-huh.
Back to the other chat. Then I went back and he wrote, he said that I didn't cheat. Then I looked at it, I got it in 1. I said,
You got it in 1. You say didn't cheat.
right. Then Yvette did hers, and she got it in 2.
Yvette got hers in 2.
And I already was thinking the word sweat. So I wrote to Yvette, then I can guess what your first word was. Which we had S-W-E blank T for the first try. It started with sweet.
Ah, she started with sweet.
I really knew, you know, that it was sweet.
How did she know to start with sweet?
That's what she started with.
That was just her random start word? It's a weird start word.
But I got the clue from Yosef, and I was thinking sweat when I looked at hers.
So, Joseph, you just decided to put sweat in, and you got it in 1? That's just seems like a lottery win. Okay. Very interesting. Carlo Albanese says you're going to hunt 2 deer, get $2. If you're going to hunt 2 deer, to get $2. Yeah, okay. Carlos says do it. LDG got it in 3. Hakeem says bacon. I'm sorry, Hakeem. I already went with zebra. LDG says could have gotten it in 1. Lol. Resolute says Bird has more subscribers than Paramount Plus, so he doesn't need to buy them. I doubt that. Carlo Albanese says Z, you mean Z, right? No, this is America. And the Traveler is here, putting in all the custom emojis. Thank you, Traveler. It says greetings to everyone. Moxley says got it. Carlo calls me a cheater, of course. Professor Brainy Specs says Bird of Prey. I was no help to Mamo Prey this time. I don't know, Professor.
came on later.
You came on later. She had already got that. Yeah, she had already got it. Sometimes you are a big help, she says. The random menace says it's not zebra, it is zebra. Pretty much I started with sweat. Okay. Pretty much, says Professor. Carlos says this is Earth, not America. Maybe where you are, Carlo. Anyway, a lot of holidays, surprising holidays on February 20th. Clean out your bookcase day. Interesting. Family Day, it's celebrated in Canada. I guess Canada has some redeeming qualities. Hoodie Hoo Day. I don't even understand what that's about. Islander Day. Start planning a short winter break as we glide into Islander Day. I don't think so. It's National Cherry Pie Day. I love cherry candy, cherry flavor, cherry flavoring, but cherry pie, not so much. Blueberry pie, yes. National Comfy Day. On this day, push yourself to be totally comfortable, no matter the circumstances. Let's get comfy. National Day of Solidarity with Muslim, Arab, and South Asian immigrants. Sure it is. National Handcuff Day. Little kinky. Do you know how handcuffs were created? Read on more to find out about the innovation. I never thought of handcuffs as an innovation, but you know what? I might just have to read a little bit about handcuffs. National Handcuff Day is celebrated February 20th every year because it was on this very day that George A. Carney was given a patent number in the U.S. for his lightweight and adjustable swinging bow ratchet style handcuff. According to Carney, the handcuffs in question were developed in the year 1912 and had a design that was comparatively more comfortable than the previous handcuffs that were developed. These handcuffs are now used when arresting criminals or when the need to detain someone arises. On this day, start celebrating in order to pay a tribute to the great American innovators that have changed lives as we know it. It will be a cold day in hell before I celebrate the invention of the handcuff. I am sorry. That is not a day that requires that we should be celebrating. While the handcuffs we see today are totally different, the idea to use an object to restrain someone has existed since ancient Greek times. Really? The ancient Greeks, you say? Call me shocked. The creation of restraints has in fact been spotted in Greek mythology. For some reason, I just feel like there's probably been restraints before ancient Greece. Other mentions of restraining devices date back to the 4th century BC, where Carthaginian armies used to hold prisoners of war. However, like other inventions, handcuffs have also evolved over time and were created out of several materials before they reached their most efficient design. In 1780, Hyatt Handcuff became the first company to manufacture the cuffs, but it wasn't until 1850 the different styles of handcuffs were formulated. What are the ones that come with like the purple feathers on them that they sell at Spencer Gifts? Because those are obviously the most useful. This is because incidents of crime had increased and the need for restraints escalated. At that point in time, there were 2 handcuffs, the Bango handcuffs and the flexible handcuffs. The bango handcuffs didn't allow prisoners any movements, whereas the flexible ones allow prisoners to slightly move and perform necessary movements such as eating and drinking water. In the late 19th century, the snap became the most popular handcuff since it could actually snap onto the wrists of criminals or suspects. Then came the twister, which was compact and could easily be carried. The first popular adjustable handcuffs were produced by Tower and were able to provide sustainability and security. These handcuffs were created by John J. Tower in 1865 and included a series of handcuffs built under license. Tower applied for his first patent in 1871 to cover the round or oval bow he invented. 500 AD, shackles in Europe have a hinged design that close near the wrist. In the 1800s, so from 500 AD to 1800s, you get the first adjustable wrist bars. And in 1862, they developed lighter handcuffs. And in 1912, making a mark, he's granted a patent for the first adjustable ratcheting handcuffs. And then there's no more handcuff history. What does it mean to handcuff someone? Handcuffing is a device that goes around someone's wrists and restricts their movement. What is a handcuff for a prisoner called? It's called a handcuff. Prisoners often wear leg cuffs and handcuffs so their movement is restricted. What does manacle mean in English? The fuck is manacle? A manacle is a shackle that goes around the wrist to restrain somebody. National Handcuff Day activities. Read up on the history. Watch a documentary. Buy some plastic handcuffs. Have some fun and buy some plastic handcuffs to celebrate the day. You can buy ones in different colors and have handcuff-themed tea party. You can also play the game of cops and robbers and use your own handcuffs. I remember as a kid, they had these plastic handcuffs that was a chain, and like one of the links in the chain was whittled down so you could just pull apart with your hands and pretend that you were breaking the handcuffs, like you were, I don't know if they were like Hulk, like Incredible Hulk or whatever themed handcuffs. But I do remember having them as a child. And you could rip them off. 5 fun facts about handcuffs. Wow, this is like the big handcuff lobby. Rules in Japan. In Japan, the hands of an arrested prisoner wearing handcuffs have to be blurred before being shown on TV. Fucking Japan. They blur all the good things. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Japan forces them to blur all the good things on TV. The teaching methods in the U.S. The police teach recruits to apply the cuffs with the subject's palms facing outward. Style of handcuffing. Before the 1960s, criminals, when arrested, were generally handcuffed with their arms in front, which is how it should be. Which is how it should be. Handcuffing behind your back should be restricted to the most dangerous of the dangerous. Okay? Remember, if you're handcuffed, you're innocent until proven guilty. You're not a fucking criminal yet. Unless you're already been convicted. If you're just taken in off the street, if you're put in the back of a police car and they're going to put your arms behind your back, fuck that. No. Okay? Unless you are like high on drugs and ready to to rip apart pure steel, and you're already attacked somebody while you were handcuffed, you shouldn't be trying to put anybody's arms behind their back to handcuff them. That is not the way to do things. 4. Golden handcuffs. The term refers to work benefits that make it difficult for an employee to leave. And the meaning of the handcuff in 1591, it referred to a decorative band at the end of sleeves. Why we love National Handcuff Day. It talks about the importance of handcuffs. The day defines the most importance of handcuffs and how they evolved the way prisoners were dealt with by the police. It narrates the history. The day narrates the history of handcuffs and how they developed and changed over time. This is essential since it highlights the use of technology in developing everyday objects. A handcuff is not an everyday object, unless perhaps you're a police officer. And C, it gives credit to the inventors. The day has an important role in giving credit to the inventors who created the handcuffs that is used almost every day to maintain law and order.
You know what?
Yes, Mama Pray.
I think that's the next thing that California and New York
Should outlaw.
are going to outlaw.
Mama Prays. It's the next thing California and New York are going to outlaw. Handcuffs.
But you don't want
You don't,
suspected criminals.
you don't want suspected criminals to feel bad like they're. You certainly don't want them to feel like they're being. In fact, it's yeah. That's right. If you're arrested, just follow the police to the station in your own car. That's the way to do it. You don't have a car, one will be provided for you. In fact, you'll get you an Uber on the tax. Taxpayers will pay for your Uber to the police station. Miss Lodell says, without America, there is no Earth. That is true. Carlos says, America so young, yet so powerful. Resu Germ says, but America is part of the Earth that counts. And Carlos says, it only counts if the tip counts, while the tip always counts. And Resu says, the tip always counts, just ask the IRS. Carlos says, so we're not even celebrating the first handcuffs made. Apparently not. And yeah, Melted Copper, is there a zip tie day? Because those are used as handcuffs on planes. Resolute says, at least celebrate Fuzzy Handcuffs Day. I know. Not one mention of fuzzy handcuffs. The Random Menace says, we have those fuzzy ones home. Melted Copper says, where about duct tape day? I'm sure there's a duct tape day. I don't know when it is. Carlos says, oh, it's a toy advert for handcuffs. Gorilla says, I know what I'm doing for handcuff day. Carlo Albanese says, remember my safe word is meatloaf, because I'll do anything for love, but I won't do that. Melted Copper says, Japan has some weird ass cartoons. Miranda Menace is giving a laughing thumbs up to Carlo. Carlo says, if they fall, they need their handcuffs in front. John Myers says, Mama Pray wants to know how you know about Japan. You know, you find weird things on the internet, and Mama Pray was outside for that. Resolute says, never handcuff in the back. It's too easy to get out of them without being seen. Melted Cover or locked in someone's basement. Yes. Murder Hornet. Kapla Murder Hornet. Ross Dog's Broken Spirit, Kapla, says, which is darker, Picard season 3 or that Game of Thrones episode? Consider you just saying, or that Game of Thrones episode. I'll assume we mean like whatever the worst Game of Thrones episode is. No, I meant the darkest Game of Thrones episode. Okay. Not the worst episode, the darkest Game of Thrones episode. I would say the darkest Game of Thrones episodes is more dark than Picard. Yeah, okay, because let's face it, there was that episode of Game of Thrones where you couldn't see anything because it was night and everything was going on, and they told us your televisions weren't set right and bullshit like that. No, physically, Picard season 3 is not as dark as the darkest episodes of Game of Thrones. When I say dark, while I do physically mean the bridge lighting is quite dark and the ship's lighting is quite dark in general, I also mean that it's a dark future in that they're not positives. People aren't generally happy. You're not seeing happy, bright, not well thought out, well adjusted people. You're seeing, war. You're seeing criminals. You're seeing pain. You're seeing drugs. You're seeing sadness. You're seeing anger. Not what Star Trek is usually about. That's the darkness. That's the darkness. The actual physical darkness is a secondary darkness, just as real, but not necessarily the only darkness. You meant, yeah, okay. So it's not that you can't see anything; you can see things. I'd want to see more of the bridge, but you can see the bridge. It's not nearly that dark. It's not. Yeah, the big White Walker battle, that was darker. That was darker. Valded Cava says you got to save money on electricity in the future. Carl says if CGI is bad, they make it darker to get away with cheaping out. Stanley says, when was the last time you visited an office building with dramatic lighting? To be honest, Stanley, it's been quite a while since I've been in any office. Although, I've been in hospitals, doctors' offices, so I haven't seen anything on par with the lighting from Picard. Carlos says there are 4 lights. It's very bright, actually. Yeah. 4 lights over an entire bridge is not particularly bright. Stanley says, I guess the idea is a submarine look, where they wouldn't use more light than necessary. Melted Copper says, how many lights are there, Picard? There are 4 lights. 1 in the shuttle bay, 1 in the hallway, 1 on the turbo lift, and 1 on the bridge. John DeMarco says, the solar panels they put on the Golden Gate Bridge must not be that efficient. Apparently not. Apparently not. So just to finish out, it's also National Leadership Day, National Muffin Day. Can you think of something more universally loved than muffins? Yes, I can think of a lot of things more universally loved than muffins. Muffins wouldn't even be in the top 10. National Student Volunteer Day, National Whistleblower Reward Day. Whoa. if you get a reward, then that's not really being a whistleblower. A whistleblower would blow the whistle without any reward forthcoming. Some genius decided to make February 20th President's Day, no politics day. Leave the politics out of it and read on for fun suggestion. How about not? It's President's Day. There it is, President's Day. The only 4 presidents who matter, carved into Mount Rushmore. Who the hell is Rushmore? And why does they have a mountain named after him? He's not a president. It's Shrove Monday. I don't know what that is. And some. Oh, there we go. Women in Blue Jeans Days. Women in Blue Jeans Days? Like there's more than one? I've always liked blue jeans on a woman. Oh, I gotta click on this. I mean, that's a farm. It's like another day for Deej. Women in Blue Jeans Day is celebrated on February 20th every year. We plan to celebrate it by showing our appreciation to all the American women who work hard on the farm to ensure the best agricultural produce gets to our tables. Can you imagine that women have been playing a critical role in how we source and harvest our food since 10,000 BC? Wow. Women were second to the food chain. Women in Blue Jeans Day is a day set aside to celebrate and recognize the contribution of rural women to our food production in America. Jeans are pants or trousers of denim or dungaree fabric. Prior to becoming a popular fashion, jeans were worn by farmers and laborers in rural America as workwear of choice due to their sturdiness and durability. The origin of jeans can be traced to Genoa, Italy, and Nimes, France, where locals wore them as work clothes and used them as fabric for overgarments. By the 19th century, jeans had become a prominent clothing material in parts of the Old World, including Britain, northern Italy, and France. In 1851, Levi Strauss arrived in New York from Germany to work with his older brothers in their goods stores. Strauss relocated to San Francisco 2 years later and opened his dry goods wholesale house, Levi Strauss and Company. One of his regular customers was a San Franciscan tailor, Jacob Davis, who usually buys bolts of cloth from him. In 1873, Davis introduced reinforcing pocket corners and button-fly bottoms with copper rivets to Strauss. He asked him to partner with him on his invention. They patented the design and started mass producing them in the United States. One of the first fabrics they worked with was brown cotton duck. However, they later opted for denim due to its sturdiness. During the initial years of production, jeans were mainly worn by laborers, miners, and farmers. By the 1960s, jeans had become a part of pop culture and gained notoriety as a symbol of rebellious youth and counterculture. They were banned in some high schools, but that only helped improve their popularity. By the end of the 70s, jeans had become an item of clothing that could be found in everyone's wardrobe. Despite being around for many years, jeans are still found as fashion today. They now come in different styles, colors, and prices. Where are the pictures? It's Women in Blue Jeans timeline and there's not a single picture of a woman in blue jeans, we're going to have to go rogue. Google images. Women in blue jeans. We're celebrating today. I feel like if I hit enter, I'm taking a tremendous risk. So I'm going to just cut off for a second, hit enter, and make sure. Okay, good. I just didn't want something to pop up that, safe search is off. Safe search is off. So there we go. We got Women in Blue Jeans Day. It's Happy Women in Blue Jeans Day from Shutterstock, iStock. Oh God, I don't know what that was. Nobody look at the bottom right. Nobody look at the bottom right. We're gonna just keep scrolling past that. Okay. Well, that's a nice pair of blue jeans. Quite light blue jeans, but anyway, not a fan of the super thin jeans, whatever they are. Anyway, okay. There's a gorgeous young woman in blue jeans. Huh? Oh, talking to Sassy. Okay. Daisy Duke, yes, Daisy Duke had some jeans. Miss Lundell says the darkness is just enough to cover up all the mess up with continuity. The CGI doesn't have to be totally on point. Gorilla's random thoughts says the lighting on Picard was really dark, kind of awkward, just seeing a floating pair of eyes and teeth. I don't think it was that bad. Carlo Albanese says, I would have changed the lights when Picard fell asleep. And Stanley's yelling at muffin tops and cupcake day. Melted Copper says, there was a man who thought he was a muffin. Stanley says, Tattletale Day. Yes, it's Tattletale Day. Carlo Albanese says, let's go, Brandon. Stanley says, hey, the government has nothing to do with politics. The Random Menace says the best known U.S. whistleblower is a Russian citizen. He is now. Carlos says Pancake Day tomorrow. Is it? Might have to have pancakes. Might do pancakes for dinner tomorrow. Who knows? Stanley says, isn't Shove Tuesday also Pancake Day? Maybe. Stanley says, tight short jeans. Do Daisy Dukes count as blue jeans? Yeah, sure they do. Stanley says, women are integral in cooking it. Carlo Albanese says, I want proof. Show me some film from back then. Absolutely. And Carlo puts in a duck. Stanley says, and very wide at the bottoms. Carlo says, don't do it. No boobies. Turn on safe search, says Resolute. I can't do it, Resolute. I can't do it. Carlos says, damn it, Jim, he changed the screen on us. Stanley says, maternity genes. Is that what we were looking at? Miss Lundell says, they found an alligator. Yes. Yes, they found an alligator. A 4-foot gator in Prospect Park, Brooklyn. And the lake in Prospect Park, Brooklyn. They said it was in pretty bad shape. Basically, I don't think it was in any shape to attack anybody, but you know. Huh?
They took it to the Bronx.
They took it to the Bronx Zoo, says Mama Frey. Gorilla says, baby got her blue jeans on. We'll look for some Daisy Dukes, Stanley. Carlos says, first flight to Venus. Stanley says, no offense, but Geordie's daughter's smile definitely stood out on the dark bridge. The Random Bennett says, eyes in the dark, one moon circles. Biden visited Ukraine today, and satire article read Ukraine military depleted. 80-year-olds are being pulled up from the reserves, but it was cool and a middle finger for Putin. Yes, in February, an alligator in New York at the end of February. Well, it's damn near 60 degrees. Had this been a typical February, the alligator no doubt would be dead. And the lake would have been frozen.
Used to ice skate on that lake.
Mama Frey used to ice skate on that lake. There's some Daisy Dukes. Oh, God. Again, don't look at the bottom right. I don't know what the problem is with the bottom right, but for some god-awful reason. Okay, these are not Daisy Dukes. Just to be clear, these are some type of bikini denim shorts, which hold a strange power. These are Daisy Dukes. Well, that's Daisy Duke wearing Daisy Dukes. And that's fake Daisy wearing Daisy Dukes. And there's some Daisy Dukes. Yeah. Anyway, there we go. LDG says, damn it, bird. And he says, yeah, that's a problem. I don't know if those count as Daisy Dukes. Micro shorts, denim, Daisy Dukes. I don't know. Yeah, that's probably Daisy Dukes. Okay. We're not on Berto Fray 5 Triple X, Carlo. We're just doing a innocent Google search. Anyway. Let's I wonder if Chat GPT knows. What was the question? Is there a Daisy Dukes Day? An error occurred. Stupid. Okay. Let's get to some Dear Bops. Bop incognito. I don't go incognito. This is, I don't care. Google can keep track. Google can keep track of what I search. Doesn't bother me. Not for that type of search. I'm going to put it on YouTube. There's no point in hiding it. Okay, we got Dear Bob's. Lozzie says, wow, Bird, women in jeans, women in tight jeans. How short before it's underwear? Stanley says, lame, memory alpha site says the whiskey that Picard and Riker were drinking is 40% synthahol. Moxley says, Daisy Dukes, wow. Carlos says, Dear Bob, yes. And Resolute says, Daisy Duke Bikini Day. Okay. Dear Bob, another name for potato is taters. Replicated potatoes, imitators. Like imitators, imitators. Okay. Random Menaces, try GPT answering Dear Bob. If we get a real Dear Bob, I will try asking Chat GPT to answer. Dear Bob, why couldn't Helen Keller drive? She was blind. Because she was a woman. Dear Bob, this is a soft putty one. Have you seen a certain person on YouTube? I guess I can't criticize. Crying on Twitter to hit his subscriber goal. This guy buys his own channel memberships. It reeks of desperation, but I'm the jerk. Yes, you're the jerk. You're the jerk, soft putty. Okay, Random Menace. Random Menace wants to try something. So let's go to our archive. Oh, damn it. Okay, I sent those to the archive. I need to search the archive. God damn it. Where's the archive? Up here. Options. There we go. Archive. Okay, I'm just gonna randomly click on a Dear Bob. I can't do, it won't know about that. Can't do that one. Come on, load something. Can't do that one. Can't do that one. Can't do that one. Rate this image, ortho. Yeah, it appears we don't have. Can't do that one. Is a reverse genie similar to a reverse cowgirl? I guess we could probably ask Chat GPT that, but I feel like it's not going to know. Is reverse genie similar to reverse cowgirl? No, the reverse genie is not similar to a reverse cowgirl. A reverse cowgirl is a sexual position in where the receiving partner is facing away from their partner while straddling and facing the opposite direction. On the other hand, the concept of a reverse genie is not commonly known term or practice. It is possible it refers to a specific variation or interpretation of the traditional genie myth or story, but without more information, it's difficult to say for sure. A reverse genie is a genie that demands you grant them 3 wishes, comma, often of a sexual nature, but not always. I see. Thank you for clarifying the meaning of reverse genie. To answer your original question, the reverse genie is not similar to the sexual position known as the reverse cowgirl. The two are completely unrelated concepts. The reverse genie is a hypothetical character or a scenario where the genie is the one making demands for wishes, while the reverse cowgirl is a specific sexual position. The Traveler says, what does bird count as a real deer bop? Apparently nothing all that interesting. Carlos says, have you asked the AI what the meaning of life is? Stanley says, is Birdo Prey that desperate? The Traveler says, ask Chat GPT to write a deer bop. Captain Phantom Nurse says, the Traveler, I like that idea. Try asking Chat GPT to write a deer bop. And Stanley says, it takes your wishes away. It doesn't take your wishes away. It doesn't grant you any wishes. If you let the genie out, then you have to fulfill its wishes. And if you don't understand, I strongly suggest you watch the short video I released called The Reverse Genie of Rigel 9. It's 60 seconds long and it'll explain everything. It takes the form of a 60-second long episode of Star Trek, the original series. Okay. New conversation. Sure. What is it you'd like to talk about? Can you please write a letter asking for advice in the style of Dear Abby, but ask it to Dear Bob? Certainly. Here's an example of a letter in the style of Dear Abby, but addressed to Dear Bob. Dear Bob, I've been struggling with a personal issue, and I'm hoping you can offer some guidance. I have recently started a new job, and my supervisor has been making me feel uncomfortable. He often comments on my appearance, makes suggestive jokes, and has even touched me inappropriately a few times. I'm not sure how to handle the situation without risking my job or making things worse. I'm really feeling really stressed and anxious about going to work each day, and I'm not sure what to do. I don't want to put up with this behavior, but I don't want to cause any problems or get fired. Do you have any advice for how I can handle this situation and stand up for myself in a professional manner? Sincerely, feeling harassed. Oh, excellent, feeling harassed. Yes. Well, you know, you should probably just let him do what he wants to do and just make the best of it. Since, I mean, he is your boss, he could fire you. Probably worth getting paid the big bucks. And you might even get a promotion if you act like you're into it. I mean, that's how most people advance in life. So, yeah, just go, just let him, just pretend you're into it. In fact, not only pretend you're into it, be into it, and then ask him to perform and chase him down. Make him run from you. Make him write a letter saying, I was just having a little fun at work and I ended up sparking something in a coworker, and now she is literally physically draining me. And now I don't want to come to work. That's how you flip the script. And then you're in the position of power. That's the ticket. That'll solve all your problems. That'll be 1995, please. Check or money order to birdopray5@aol.com. Resolute Germ says chat box is going to be reporting Bird to the police at some point. Arabic Sander says Kapla Bird. Kapla, live long and prosper. Arabic. Stanley says, I don't have that kind of time. 60 seconds. Resolute Germ says, for Sulu. Carlo Albanese says, the film Wishmaster is a bit of a reverse genie. I never saw it. LDG says, ask if you're sure. Are we being replaced by automation? Melded Copper says, they've made like 3 Wishmasters. Mike Richards is right now. Monty says, Wishmaster 2 is my favorite in the franchise. Hakeem says, take it like a cheerleader and get that raise. Resolute says, great advice. And Melted Copper says, did Wishmaster end up in space with Jason, Pinhead, and the Leprechaun? We got some more Dear Bops. Would you look at that? Okay. Let's go back to the inbox. Dear Bop, I'm in need of money quick. How can I get some cash now? You can sell something at a local pawn shop, PAWN. If you got a television or a game, a video game system, Legos, iron cookware, something, anything heavy, something metal, old jewelry. You can usually get top dollar, and by top dollar I mean they know you're desperate for money and will probably take anything at your local pawn shop. Dear Bob, what does it take to become a dictator in a democratic country? First, you have to get the population severely divided and angry at the other half. They don't even know why they're angry, but they know the other side is the cause of all their problems. And then you promise to be the solution to their problems. And next thing you know, you're a dictator. Dear Bob, James O'Keefe was forced out of Project Veritas, and Steven Crowder doesn't have a partner. Why not have the two of them partner up and be their own network moving forward? Crowder doesn't need a partner like Daily Wire, so he could go on his own. And James has proven he could do it once already, so why not do it again? I suppose that makes sense. I'll be honest. I very rarely hear or watch Steven Crowder, and I hear and watch James O'Keefe even less. But I do hope they both do well, generally speaking. I got nothing against them. Mom O'Frey is walking over.
Oh, I was closing the
Oh.
line. But I just read, did you hear about the flight from New Zealand
No.
to JFK
A flight from New Zealand to JFK?
when the JFK Terminal 1 had a blackout?
No.
It was 16 hours into the flight and they had to turn around and go back.
They turned around a 16-hour flight?
They were already 16 hours into the flight. I don't know.
How did they have enough fuel to return to New Zealand?
Well, they turned around. I don't know if they had to stop for fuel somewhere, but that's what they.
That doesn't make any sense.
Okay, then
I mean, I believe you.
I'll read the rest of the.
I'll read it. I'll read it. Mama Frey is saying that there was a flight from New Zealand that was 16 hours into its flight to JFK when JFK had a power outage the other day, and the flight was forced to return to New Zealand.
I'm going to read exactly where it says make 16-hour U-turn.
Make 16-hour U-turn. Maybe it was only 8 hours in, and then 8 hours back. That's 16 hours. Dear Bob, if you could only watch one adult movie for the rest of your life, which would you pick? Michael and Tilly does a kissing dance.
You're right.
8 hours.
It was 8 hours.
Right. Okay, so it was 8 hours into the flight and 8 hours back. So 16 hours round trip.
Why do I read that?
That's you never. Well, I mean, you can believe the headline, but that's what they. You have to understand that they always are going to look to make it worse than it was. Yeah, clickbait. No, you're wrong. An 8-hour flight and an 8-hour ride back is still a lot of wasted fuel and a lot of wasted time. But I can understand that a 16-hour, I cannot.
It's a 16-hour U-turn. That is terrible.
Makes a 16-hour U-turn. Mama Prey is very upset by the clickbait. As for if I could only watch one adult movie for the rest of my life, what would I pick? Honestly, Groundhog Day is not an adult movie.
But apropos, what was the only thing you could watch?
No, if it was a movie, it would be one of the Star Treks, probably Star Trek 4. But as an adult movie, I just don't know the titles. It's not like I have a collection of adult movies that I can reference by title or whatever. So sorry. I know it wouldn't be Debbie Does Dallas, because that was not as impressive as they made it out to be. And no, it wouldn't be Two Girls, One Cup. I can promise that it also would not be. Arabic Saunders says it's my money. I want it now. Yes. 877 cash now. Carlos says, I think I misunderstood what they meant by dictator. I wrote everything they said down instead of, well, next time, I suppose. Sci-Fi says, why didn't they divert to LaGuardia or Jersey or an airport with power? Well, I don't know that they can do that. Carlos says, clickbait sounds good. Actually, Mama Prey is right. Good, cool, good film. Oh, a good comic film, yeah. Sci-Fi Nation says Debbie Does Kuroga was supposed to be good. The Random Menace is Groundhog Day, Triple X. Carlos says Hail Kuroga. And Carlos's Confessions of a Window Cleaner. Is that an adult movie? I don't. You know what? Part of me doesn't want to know.
Oh, adult movie.
Did you just get that now, Mama
Yes,
Pray?
I'm old.
Mama Pray is just understanding now.
I was doing adult versus child.
She thought you just meant not a children's movie.
Yeah.
Not a baby movie.
Yeah.
The Random Menace is Shaving Ryan's Privates. Yes, that is another well-known adult movie. Sci-Fi says Hail Kuroga. And no corn equal porn. Okay, thank you, Carlo.
I'm so naive. It's a miracle you and your sister were ever born. I'm going.
And on that note, I think we're going to call it a day. Yes, and laughing at Mama Pray. Very awkward. Very awkward. So this week, tomorrow, I have a doctor's appointment. Not that I usually do much on Tuesday anyway, but have a doctor's appointment and physical therapy. Wednesday will be another Enterprise episode. Thursday, another review of Star Trek Picard, episode 2. And then Friday, we'll be back to another bed life. So thank you all for hanging out. Bird is a miracle baby, confirmed. Carlos says, thanks for the stream. Hope you have a fantastic day, night, everyone. Hail, Kuroga. Thanks for the stream, Bird. Take care, everyone. Says Sci-Fi Nation. Take care, all. Check out the Underground at freethenet.org/underground. And we'll see you guys soon. Kapla all. Bird. And Bird out.